Okay, greetings, folks. Today's question is hermetics safe? What are the dangers in studying hermetic science? And that's an excellent question. Now, let's go through what is dangerous. So the first thing is when someone asks you to believe something without questioning it. That basically makes you delusional. So if you have blind faith in something without questioning it, you can never get to the heart of truth of that particular thing, of that concept. Even if it is true, you have to question every aspect of it, directly experience it, and know it to be so. So without questioning, you end up in ignorance, and ignorance is your biggest danger. Now, hermetics is a system where you question everything. Nothing is true until you test it, and then when you get into a deep sense of connection to that truth, then you recognize there's deeper truths, that everything's inherently empty, and what you thought to have substance begins to lose substance. So there's layers and layers of truth, and this only happens through investigation. Okay, so let's look at some of the other dangers. Another danger is grasping for power. If a person isn't functioning through a state of release, then one is getting attached to the energy you're working with, and supernatural energy produces a supernatural ego, and a supernatural ego consumes the person with power, and they basically become a very unstable human being. So release is the most important quality of hermetics. If you want a vital breathe, you have to release the muscles, tension, activate the fascia, direct the breath into the ball, tune into it, release resistance to tuning in, let the mind vibrationally match vital energy, and then you can start working with that energy. Now, if let's say you just use the will and you produce the energy, you're going to feel it, it's going to be there, but you can't question it, you can't go deeper into it. When you release, you're essentially letting go of your mind's attachment to what is to go deeper into it. So release is the fabric of discovering truth. And to go deeper into something, there's this inherent quality of letting go of where you're at to get to the next level. Release is the essence of spiritual development. Letting go and moving deeper and deeper and deeper. Okay, so next danger. Now, some people have a fantasy type relationship to hermetic magic, and their fantasy relationship is they're going to invoke a spirit like a demon, and a demon, you're going to sell your soul to them, and they're going to make you rich or famous or whatever your desire is. Things like that do exist, but they're really rare. The energies and spirits that you connect to are what you see in the mirror. They're vibrational match to you. So when you start working with energy and spirits connect to you, they're connecting to you as a vibrational match to you to resonate with you and interact with you. So this thing that a dark spirit's going to catch you, very, very unlikely. Now, if someone is hypersensitive, super open, they're putting themselves in negative environments, yeah, stuff's going to move through those gaps and it's going to stick to you. But it's not going to happen to you because you're doing hermetics. It's going to happen to you because you're already excessively open and sensitive and putting yourself in negative environments. If you keep yourself in positive environments, and very energetically open people need to do that, and they're always releasing negative thoughts and feelings, they're fine. If they're cultivating negative thoughts and negative feelings, then spiritual entities, which are a vibrational match to that, are going to essentially consume you. So you have to be very, very careful with what you're putting out, because that's what you're going to get back. And people generally can't see what they're putting out. They're not in resonance with their own black and white mirror. So to guard against this, the first thing you do in hermetics, black and white mirror, establish your precepts, establish your vows, establish your goals, establish your virtues, be true to your virtues, release your passions into virtues. And light radiates through virtues, not through passions. If it radiates through passions, it makes you unstable. It polarizes the system. If it vibrates through virtues, it stabilizes the system. Okay, so next danger is not questioning enough, just believing. So you're sitting down in the class, you're with the teacher, and they tell you something, and your intuition says, yeah, that's true. And then you just take it on board as your perception of what that truth actually means. But in reality, you have to investigate, question, pull it apart layer by layer to get to the heart of that truth. You can't accept the superficial truth. You have to go to the depth of that truth. So question more than you think you need to if you want to be in resonance with truth. You have to peel away the layers. You have to release all the superficial perceptions that society has given you about a word. Let's say something simple, perseverance. What does perseverance mean to you? Some people say, okay, it's you don't give up. You keep trying. When you're down, you get up. You just keep moving forward. You keep going till you achieve the goal. And okay, on a certain level, that's true. But there's a quality inside of the spirit that has an equanimity and stability within the direction it's working spiritually to persevere. It's not an ego rooted substance of, I'm going to be successful no matter what. I never want to experience bad things again. I'm just going to make good things in my life and I'm going to persevere. It's not that. Perseverance is an accumulation of faith which acts as a driver for spiritual attainment. So this understanding of the words from a normal dictionary perspective to when you understand those words from an experiential spiritual perspective, they're vastly different. So the word in its true meaning is correct, but your interpretation may be different. So there's a danger in accepting truth without questioning that truth. And you always have to keep going deeper and deeper into it. Now, other dangers are associating with people who drink alcohol. Only ignorant, stupid people on the spiritual path are going to drink alcohol. Seriously. It dissolves the structure of spirit. The mind loses its concentration capacity. The matrix is softened. Your virtues go down. Everything that goes into decline spiritually when you consume alcohol. Do an IQ test under the influence, and you're pretty stupid. So you might be a genius, but under the influence of alcohol, you're below average. And so every metric, everything that's good about you, every skill you have declines. So it's pretty silly. And people who engage in that and engage in drugs and so-called spiritual medicines that neutralize their will, anything that takes away your ability to concentrate is inherently evil. So you have to be very, very careful about how you address those addictive substances in your life. Anything that suppresses your will. Be very careful about it. That's a really big danger. If a person engages in that, they end up in a spiral of ignorance. Now, they may be really intelligent and be able to say really smart words. They may have power and be able to express power, but the danger is they're not going to go past duality. They can't, because the fabric of the spirit is deteriorating due to alcohol consumption, due to drug abuse, and so forth. So the fabric of the spirit connects to stillness through concentration. Alcohol destroys the matrix, which allows you to be still and allows you to experience truth, experience non-duality. Okay, so this list is pretty big, but I've got a class to teach in a few minutes, so I better go. Thanks for your time. Thank you for listening, everyone, and see you on the next video.